Welcome to Quicksand, the most important news in pharma and biotech this week. As Takeda works to close its massive Shire buy, the company has unveiled a plan to close its Chicago area U.S. headquarters and center its U.S. operations in the Boston area where Shire has operations. Following a successful closing of the Shire buyout, Takeda will progressively consolidate from Deerfield into the greater Boston area, the company said. The deal is subject to shareholder and regulatory approvals. About 1,000 employees work at the Deerfield site, and some will receive relocation offers, the company said. Employees will learn their own situation about 6 months after the Shire close, the company added. The headquarters change comes after Takeda reportedly started moving as many as 750 employees in R&D and vaccines from the Deerfield site to Cambridge last year. Separately, the drug maker cut 480 primary care sales reps around the U.S., according to a spokesperson. When Takeda completes its headquarters move, its employees will be positioned near thousands of Shire's U.S. staff. That drug maker already employs more than 3,000 people in Massachusetts and announced a drive last year to consolidate U.S. operations around two sites in the state, Lexington and Cambridge. With that consolidation, Shire's rare disease research and U.S. commercial operations are positioned in Cambridge, while biologic and other manufacturing operations are in Lexington. Takeda's U.S. headquarters move will also position its business near the former headquarters of Ariad, a Boston biotech the Japanese company purchased last year for $5.2 billion. Takeda employs more than 5,000 people in the U.S., according to its website. Drug makers looking to make a change to the drug substance manufacturing process during an application's post-approval period should consult the FDA's new draft guidance. The 38-page draft, completed as part of a commitment to the reauthorization of the generic drug user fee amendments, provides recommendations to holders of approved new drug applications, abbreviated new drug applications, new animal drug applications, abbreviated new animal drug applications, and holders of drug master files and veterinary master files who may want to make a change to the drug substance manufacturing process during the drug product application post-approval period. The draft guidance covers facilities, scale, and equipment changes associated with all steps of drug substance manufacturing, specification changes to starting materials, raw materials, intermediates, and the unfinished and final drug substance, synthetic manufacturing process changes in the source of drug substance, and change to container closure system of the drug substance. The draft notes that late-stage changes in the drug substance manufacturing process are generally viewed as more likely to have an adverse impact on the quality of the drug substance and consequently on the drug product. The responsibility for reporting the types of changes described in this guidance could lie with a single party or with several parties depending on whether the drug substance synthesis or processing is described in an application or in one or more master files, the draft explains. The notification to FDA should include reference to the section of this guidance under which the change is made and all pertinent information to ensure the quality of the drug substance and drug product. The FDA issued a batch of new and revised product-specific draft guidances detailing its expectations for companies looking to develop generic versions of those products. Among the documents are 42 new and 12 revised guidances providing specific recommendations for the studies FDA believes are necessary to demonstrate that the products are therapeutically equivalent to the reference-listed drug. Many of the product-specific guidances are for recently approved drugs, including AbbVie's Mavyret, Gilead's Vossevi, Novartis' Rydapt, Celgene's Idhifa, and Teva's Austedo, all of which were approved by the agency in 2017. Of the 54 product-specific guidances, 18 are for non-biological complex drugs, 14 of which do not currently have any generic competitors. Developing generic versions of non-biological complex drugs has proven challenging for industry in lieu of specific guidance from FDA, which prompted the Government Accountability Office to call on FDA to publish plans to issue a revised guidance on complex generic drugs. As the guidances are all in draft form, FDA is requesting comment from the public on the approaches described in the documents within 60 days to ensure the comments are considered before the agency moves to finalize the guidances. The FDA proposed a new rulemaking that would ease the process by which the public can use the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, to request certain non-public information. In addition to easing the process by which materials can be requested, the proposed rule will require FDA to establish procedures for identifying records of general interest or use to the public that are appropriate for public disclosure, and for posting such records in a publicly accessible electronic format. Records requested 3 or more times under FOIA also would be made public, according to the proposed rule. FDA already proactively posts frequently requested documents. These changes will promote transparency by reducing the amount of information that will be withheld when the agency has discretion to determine what will be withheld under the FOIA exemptions, and will make release of information more efficient through the use of information technology, the proposal says. The proposed rule incorporates changes made to FOIA by the Openness Promotes Effectiveness in Our National Government Act of 2007 and the FOIA Improvement Act of 2016. The European Commission has advised sponsors on how Brexit will affect clinical trials. The notice picks out the supply of investigational products, need to have a representative in the European Union, and the submission of clinical trial information as the key points to consider ahead of Brexit. The Commission notice focuses on 3 legal repercussions of the UK becoming a third country. Due to what the Commission calls the considerable uncertainties about the state of the UK's future relationship with the EU, the advice could be rendered void by developments in the coming months. However, in keeping with the EU's position throughout the Brexit negotiations, the Commission is advising sponsors to be cognizant of what will happen if the UK leaves without securing a deal. If that happens, the UK will be treated as a third country as of March 29th. That will affect the supply of investigational medicines. If any part of the production of an investigational medicine takes place in a third country, the sponsor must have at least one qualified person permanently and continuously at his disposal in the EU. This person must ensure the imported medicine was produced in accordance with good manufacturing practices equivalent to those applied in the EU. The requirement for sponsors to apply these processes to medicines imported from the UK is one of several repercussions of Brexit highlighted by the Commission. The second repercussion cited by the Commission is the need to have a legal representative in one of the remaining 27 EU member states. It typically takes a substantial amendment to change a legal representative. The Commission's third and final point covers the submission of clinical trial information. After the UK leaves the EU, sponsors will no longer have to file UK-specific clinical trial information to UDRAC unless the country is the only location in the study run as part of an agreed pediatric investigational plan. Thank you for listening to Quicksand, episode 47, September 17th, 2018.